Hello and welcome to today's Halloween edition of Zentangle Untangled. We are going to draw some spooky stuff today, so we'll get started. You can draw, of course, whatever box or shape you like, as always. Alright, so in any direction, you're going to kind of draw a tree shape. So I'm going to start on this side, and I'm going to kind of just do some arched lines. They're a little bit wonky, a little bit wavy. I don't know how much you can see on the video. And then I'm going to kind of shoot one across my section here, and then draw a little bit of a tree branch up here, and then maybe go back out and kind of shoot up and draw a little branch right here. So that you don't have to have yours exactly like I have mine. You just want to kind of have it divided into, see how it divides it into sections? You want that look, but with some kind of like a tree branch type thing. So in the top section, I'm going to just put a dot. I'm going to draw my outside lines for my, or support lines, I guess, for my web. And they can go, they shouldn't be evenly spaced. I mean, they can be, but it looks a little cooler if they're, some of them, oh, that one's a little arched. Try and get them as straight as you can. It looks a little bit cooler if the lines, like some sections are a little bit closer and some are further away. So I'm just drawing these arched lines. They're not crazy arched, but it goes up and in. And then I'm going to connect it to the line next to it. I'm going to start off the point where it starts there and go across. So you want them to line up. And you can stop whenever you want. If you don't want the entire section filled with web, you don't have to. So you're just going to keep doing that all the way around. Make sure that you line up your points on the side over here and go across. I'm not going to do the last one there because it doesn't have anything to match it to. And I'm just going to keep going around. And you can just stop whenever you think it looks good. You know, if you want to fill up the entire section, you can. But a spider never fills up the entire section. They just do a nice web kind of in the middle. So it's up to you what you want to have on yours. So I'm going to do that same kind of thing in all these other sections. So you can add this as kind of a detailed feature off on the side of a drawing or something that separates two sections. This one is used actually as a fill. So I'm using this as a fill pattern inside of a section. So you could do it either way. If you're going to do it as kind of like a side piece, you just have your tree extend beyond, you know, the lines a little bit so it looks like it's in front of all that stuff. And then your patterns go around it. Alright, so I have this one little section over here on the right. I'm just going to toss a really tiny spider web in there. You might not have this section, so you can just do whatever sections you have. That's fine. Alright, so kind of as a last little detail, this is completely optional. I'm just going to draw some little like bark lines on my tree here. If you want to do something else to yours, you don't even have to make it a tree. You can have it be, you know, kind of like a checkerboard type of thing, or a striped section that kind of separates those. Just something to make it a little bit darker so it kind of stands out that that shape is in there. I think with it just being white, it gets lost amongst the webs. So again, this is completely optional. I just want this to stand out a little bit more. These are just really light pen lines. You could certainly use pencil or some, you know, sort of color if you wanted to actually make it colorful. You could add color in there as well. So something like that. All right, now we're going to go on to the next one. I'm going to draw a slightly smaller box, but it doesn't really matter what size you have. All right, and I'm going to grab a pencil. Let me grab one here. So you want a pencil for this section, and I'm going to draw mine a little bit darker so you can see it on the video. And I don't even know if you can see it, but there's just these wonky, wavy set of lines. So it's two sets of lines, and now I'm going to draw an oval right over the top of the top line, and I'm going to add a little shadow line just on the bottom right side. I'm going to go up a little bit more, kind of randomly, and draw another oval right on the line, so it should overlap the line. And then I'm just going to draw a couple more, maybe one on this side. And then my shadow line's a little strange on that one because it's kind of the back side of it. And draw a couple more. So this is the idea of this, is that you're drawing like warts. It's a warty finger, so, or like, you know, a warty section. So it's going to be grotesque. Just kidding. It's going to be just a little warty section. So you can draw as many as you want randomly, different sizes, whatever it is that you want to do. So I think that looks good. Now around each one, I'm going to draw these two, it's usually two, but whatever you can fit. So there are two rings around each one that do not touch anything else. They can be not evenly shaped. They can be, you know, kind of wonky ovals. Just don't want them to touch. So they should just go rings around each wart. And when you get to the line, you stop. So you can see I have some that are half circles. So the line, you only draw the lines inside of these like warty sections. So I'll put this on here so you can see a little bit better where it is. So you don't draw this side line through the wart. So any warts that you have sticking off or that have overlapped that pencil line, you're going to not draw the sidelines through that. I'm going to fill this section with kind of wonky lines that are close together. You can fill this however you wish. If you want the whole thing to just have polka dots or different type, you can even use color here. So if you kind of want to make it look like a warty octopus tentacle or something like that, you can, you know, do purple, or you could do a color and then you know, add some polka dots or extra suction cups or whatever you want to do. But I think it just kind of looks like a warty branch or like a warty witch finger or something yucky. So I'm going to put it like that and just draw these lines close together. So as you can see, when I get to these rings that I've drawn around the warts, I'm not going to draw through that. So the lines only go in the background space. You don't draw through those little ovals that you drew around each wart. So now that I have all my lines in here, I'm just going to close my pen quick here. Now that I have all my lines in my section done, I'm going to add a little shading on here. So I'm just going to kind of pick some sections. There's no rhyme or reason to this. Just going to draw some sections that have a little bit darker shadow along the edge. I don't even know how much of this you can see on the video, but just a little bit around here, and then around the base of each wart I'm going to add a little bit of a shadow. Oh, and don't forget to go back and erase the lines through your warts that stick up through the side walls. Add a little shadow down here. Make it a little thicker in some sections, like maybe have it a little thicker right in the middle. It's up to you how you want to do it. I'm just going to add a little bit. I'm not going to shade the entire edge, just some sections here. So now I'm going to go back and draw some additional lines, and I just realized I should have used my pencil. If you are following along, please use your pencil to draw your lines. So I'm going to draw actually all of these below my line. I'm not going to have any that stick out on this one. So if you do happen to make the mistake where you use a pen and you draw your little witch fingers or whatever you want to call these, just have all the warts be inside of that section. It'll be okay. Nobody will know it's there but you. So be sure to use your pencil when you're drawing those wonky sections. All right, so now you actually have options. You can leave the background white, those negative space areas, you can leave them white if you wish. After you add your shading, you can, if you choose that step, you can actually color in the background. So I'm going to finish up my shading, and I'm actually going to just color in the background since you can see what it looks like white right now and see if you like that. I'm going to draw it black, I'm going to color it in black, and then you can see which option you prefer. All right, so if you like the black background, that's what it looks like. It's a little bit more of a gloomy look, I guess, to go with the warts. It's up to you which option you prefer. So we're going to do kind of a little bit of doodling here. I'm just going to draw a line across the bottom. It doesn't matter which, how long your line is. You just leave enough room. You won't need a lot of space. So I'm actually going to grab my pencil. I'm going to draw an oval here. And it should be an oval, not super small. It should be, you're going to draw a pumpkin. So you don't want to have it super small. Just down a little bit from the top, right in the center, I'm going to draw a nice shaped oval here. On each side, I'm going to draw, it's basically a C shape here and a reverse C shape here. So you can kind of see the spacing for that. I'm going to draw one more, and I'm actually going to trace along the outside pencil line of my oval. So I go up a little bit and then along the pencil line to the bottom. So it looks just like that. Now I'm going to put my stem in, and you can draw your stem however you want. It should come off that center section of your pumpkin. You can add some little, you know, viney lines or whatever you want to put in there. Now off to the, we're going to finish off the behind section. So you're going to go right from the point and draw these little humps right along the pencil line. And then you're just going to fill in that back section right along the pumpkin line. So that's how you draw a cute little pumpkin. It's very cute. I just like it. Now I'm going to add some little like shadow lines. They're just little teeny lines, very swoopy, very fast. Just kind of little tick marks along the sides here. I'm going to add some in the back and all of that sort of thing. Just like that. Very cute. So you can draw as many as you want. I'm going to draw a little bit bigger one here just to practice one more time. So this is a taller one. It's still a circle, of course, like an oval type of circle. I'm actually going to fix that section there because it was really square. So just kind of get a good oval circular shape. Make sure you come down a little bit from the top of your circle. So it's just maybe a 1/4 inch down. And then you start drawing your center oval, your C shape on the left, your reverse C on the right, and then do it again, tracing, go up a little bit, trace along the pencil line and down, up a little bit, and trace down along the pencil line. So sometimes they could look a little silly, but just, you know, trust yourself. Just kind of let it flow. Put my stem on. I'm going to have it go the other way because, you know, that's cool. I'm going to add my little vein lines again, and then I'll draw the background. So right from this point, I'm just going to do an arched line up and down, arched line up and down, and then I'm just going to trace along that pencil line at the top of the oval there. Don't forget to go back and erase your pencil, obviously. I'm not going to do that now because I don't really mind it. So we're just going to draw my little tick marks in here. And you can, of course, add color. You could certainly watercolor these as long as you are using a pen that is water resistant. You can get these wet and just put some watercolor over the top of it. We're going to draw one more little detail over here. This is going to be the corn stalk. I want to draw it in pencil first. I haven't actually drawn this yet, so I'm going to draw it in pencil in case I mess up here. So I'm just going to draw a tall stalk. Compared to my pumpkins, it's going to be pretty tall. At the very top, I'm actually going to do this part in pen. I'm going to draw kind of a long teardrop shape here. I know it's hard to see on the video. I'm going to draw 2 teardrop shaped pieces that kind of feather out to the sides on each side. And that's going to be the top of the corn stalk. All right, so on the top here, I'm going to work my way down. So I'm just going to pick a side. I'm going to pick the right side. I'm going to draw a line up and kind of draw, this is like the vine through the center of the leaf. Now corn leaves are not smooth. They're a little bit wavy on the side, or they kind of wrinkle on the side a little bit. So I'm going to shoot off of and step down a little bit for the other side, I'm sorry. And then I'm going to draw my center line and then kind of come back a little wonky and then go up and sort of come back around on the top. So they shouldn't be completely smooth. This isn't like a really smooth waxy leaf. It's kind of a wonky shape. They can go out in different angles. And then the sides of the leaves right here should be a little bit wavy. So do not worry. If you don't have a steady hand, this is a great one to draw. I'm just going to make the leaves a little bit bigger as I go all the way down the stalk. And remember to stagger them. So you can see on the right, I have my leaves up a little bit higher than on the left. That's how a corn stalk is. So my third leaves here, I'm going to make just a little bit more of a gap. I'm going to actually add my piece of corn on this one, which we'll do at the very end. So I'm going to leave just a small, a little bit larger gap for my third leaf here. So I have room to draw my corn piece. And you can get, don't get too crazy with the waviness of your lines, but you can certainly add a nice little wrinkle to the side of your leaf. You can have some longer ones that loop down, however you want to do it. And you can certainly just do this all in pencil and practice and then go over once you've tried it and you like it. You like the design that you have, and then you can just trace over it, at the pen or whatever you have. All right, so that looks good. I don't think I'm going to draw another one because my pumpkins are in the way. So now I'm going to add my corn stalk. So it's kind of like an open piece here. It's like a little triangle, comes back to the stalk. Okay, then I'm going to kind of cross right at this point here. I'm going to go up and then back down to the bottom. So this is like the outside husk of the corn. Now I'm going to draw kind of this like pointed center section. It's a little bit round, a little bit fat, and then the little silk at the end. Just little dashes, dots and dashes on the end here. Nothing super fancy. You can go back and add a little texture on that corn's husk if you wish. And now I'm going to draw my line as straight as I can up to the top. I'm going to add a little texture too, I think, to this stalk. I don't want it to be just plain, but you certainly can do whatever you'd like. Add my little lines on here. I think it'll make it look a little bit more noticeable that I have corn there. That's cute. Somebody told me, and I've never actually checked to see if it's true, that there's actually only one ear of corn on some varieties. There's only one ear of corn on a whole entire stalk. So this big huge plant for one piece of corn. So I don't know if that's true, but oh my goodness, if it is, that's a lot of plant for one piece of corn. Just going to add some dots into my top fluff here, just to give it a little texture. And I think that looks really, really cute. You can add, some grass. You can add some dirt. You can add little critters, a little mouse or something sticking out of there, whatever it is that you want. You can certainly make it, you can draw a whole bunch of these. You can draw, the front one to be a darker color, and then as they fade away, you can draw them behind and they can get a little bit lighter, a little bit smaller. So it looks like this one's in the front. There's all sorts of different techniques that you can do with this one. So have a lot of fun with that. You certainly can use it at the side of your design as well. So I hope that you enjoyed our spooky Halloween class today. If you do wish to join us live in the library, it's on Thursdays from 5:30 to 6:30, and you do need to call and register for that. I hope that you have a wonderful, spooktacular Halloween weekend. Bye-bye.